speaker was at IIT Bombay, she was the only one in her class of 35 people. You know how hard it was to interact with other classmates? There was no social media at that time. I can imagine how challenging it would be. A ratio of 35:1. It significantly improved at my time. It was 10:1, and I'm sure the ratio is improving significantly now at IITs. I'm talking about boys to girls ratios. Well, I would now like to invite on stage our next speaker, Shalini Govil-Pai, who is the VP and GM of TV at Google. And she will be talking about the role of social media in businesses, how it is helping businesses in D2C space. So with that, I would now like to invite Shalini Govil-Pai. Please put your hand together for her.
It looks like it's on. Yeah, now it's okay. Hi, everyone. Hope everyone's doing well. I know it's kind of the end of the day. Hope you've all got your energy back after drinking some coffee. And, you know, that was such a great panel that I'm going after, so I don't know if I can match up to it. Definitely, I am not going to be as serious stuff as that, so maybe some of my videos will get you back to life. I am here to talk to you about social media and how we use it for many types of things, including branding, marketing, customer acquisition, everything that I'm sure as you're starting your company or you have your own company, things that you need to think about as you build those and grow it further. So a little bit about me. I'm Shalini Govil-Pai. I graduated from IIT Bombay in computer science. And I'm currently VP at Google. I head up the TV business at Google. Prior to that, I was at YouTube for 8 years. And you know, when I started at YouTube very, very early on, no one really knew what video on the internet was. Really, when you thought of YouTube, you thought of cats playing the piano. In fact, there was a very, very popular video. At that time, it got 1 million views. It was called Nyan Cat. I don't know if any of you have seen the Nyan Cat. But it was this really silly cat, Deepthi knows it. It was a really silly cat of just flying across with a rainbow and a very, very annoying piece of music in the background. That was really what people thought of internet video. And so when I joined the team with 3 people under me, we really thought about how do we grow a YouTube channel for creators and for brands, and how do we build a business around it. So that was really our focus. In my tenure there, we grew it more than 10x in 5 years, more than 1 billion active users. Now YouTube is at 2 billion plus, 100K creators plus, and 100 million almost people who are always looking at what is happening with different brands across YouTube. And so that was really our focus, is really thinking about how can the YouTube channel help others grow and really create synergies and a community for them. And so that was really my foray into starting off into social media. The hockey stick that we really inspired at YouTube has just continued to grow. TikTok, Instagram, to name a few. And there are more emerging every day. I don't know if you heard of Be Real, which is something that's come up. Just last week, I heard of Candid Conversations. Did anyone try out Candid Conversations? Okay, it started by Instagram just last week. So you can see like the power of social media is just growing and growing. That's where the consumers are. And if you think about marketing and customer acquisition, you cannot not be where social media is. And so really, you know, forget about the 4 Ps. We used to always think about marketing is 4 Ps. Well, no longer true. I think someone in the morning was saying that too. It's really about 3 things. I'm sorry, I see an ad over here. That's why I was kind of surprised. It's a Roku TV, by the way, not a Google TV. So that's why it's showing me ads as I'm reading out. So I didn't sponsor the TV, clearly. But there are three really rules now that if you think about marketing, and it's really about using what we call sight, sound, and motion, or videos, using the power of influencers, aka who am I listening to who are the people that I value and that I think are great people that I want to connect with. And third is how am I leveraging the power of a community and what we call social proof. So we'll look into each one of these a little bit more, and I'll have some case studies that will really show you what fun this power can be. And so starting with sight, sound, and motion, or video, you know, it should be pretty obvious that sight, sound, and motion is really touching three senses for anybody. And that's why it's so powerful. It's really where the hearts and minds are one. And as I mentioned before, you know, the big technology hubs for those include TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, and more are coming over time. Okay, I'll keep talking as I think they were going to show a video on it. You know, the one thing that people ask me is, oh my gosh, I put up my video on YouTube or I put up my video on TikTok and it's going to go viral, right? Tomorrow, I'm going to get 16 million views on it, right? I'm sorry, it doesn't work that way. Yes, there's a site, you can put yourself up there, but there's a lot of data analytics that you've got to be monitoring. You really have to be keeping track of it. You really got to be thinking about what the trends.
What would shopping look like if you could walk into a store, grab what you want, and just go?
We'll just let this video play.
What if we could weave the most advanced machine learning, computer vision, and AI into the very fabric of a store so you never have to wait in line? No lines, no checkouts, no registers. Welcome to Amazon Go.
Maybe we can pause it there.
Use the Amazon Go app to enter.
So what I was saying was, brands have started understanding that if their users are looking at sight, sound, and motion, how do they use platforms like YouTube to really make it go viral? The virality doesn't come from just putting it up there. You have to be constantly tracking, using data analytics, understanding what's the hashtag trend that I'm going to either create or that I'm going to follow to get more people to watch this and for this to surface up. There's a lot of also machine learning algorithms that people are using and heavily investing in to understand what kind of sight, sound, and motion will resonate with my audience. If this is my product, what is actually the value of this video that seems authentic that I need to put out there? So there's a lot of deep tech going around behind this virality that people kind of take for granted. But, you know, sight, sound, and motion is really the key driver. And so we really need to focus on that. And, you know, we saw the Amazon video. But people are not going into stores anymore just because some big company told them, go to my store, buy something, right? No one is listening to that anymore. The action is all happening via what we call influencers. And I think someone in the previous session mentioned influencers as well. Influencers are people who put themselves out there, really having very authentic conversations about themselves, about their lives, about what they feel, and they build up followers because they are being authentic and those followers resonate with that authenticity. In fact, just over the weekend, I had gone to LA to meet some friends, and I met a friend's daughter. I thought he was here, but he seems to have run away. Oh, he's right here. I just met Abhijit's daughter, Meghna, who is an amazing TikTok influencer. She was just walking me about how she developed some videos, like really short videos, amazing videos, and got 8 million followers right there. And, you know, brands are seeking her out to say, hey, can you wear this outfit for my brand and showcase it? And she only does it if it's authentic to her, right? Like, she will do it because she feels authentic in it, she feels good in it, and then all her followers kind of say, hey, I want that too, because Meghna's wearing it. And so that's kind of the power of an influencer. And it's not just, you know, dances and music that influencers are influencing. My daughter works at Genentech, and they are heavily leaning into how do they use social media and influencers for selling their drugs. And I'm going to show you a video that I think will really inspire. It's for one of their drugs for hemophilia. If you can just play the video. Okay, so this is a serious medication for a very serious condition, and they chose to use influencers to really help spread the word, start a community, and as you saw, the medication has seen a tremendous rise in just understanding from people, what is it about? How can I use it? How can I do something with it and reach out to the influencers who they were talking to? Okay, the third part of social media and marketing is around a community, right? Like all of us are people who are pressurized by our peers. We probably went to IIT because our friends were going there. They were taking the test. So I decided to do it too, right? That's kind of how most of us work. Like our social graph really enables us to do some things and drives us. And the internet is no different. A lot of people were putting up customer acquisition advertising, and buy one, get one free, or 1 month free no longer holds the same muscle as, hey, buy one, and by the way, your friend Adam also happened to buy this. That kind of sets off this, oh my gosh, Adam was buying it, maybe it's good, maybe I'll buy it too. Or Shalini did that, oh wow, maybe I can do that too. And, so that's what we call now the social proof. That's the term that's being formalized. And a group of MIT researchers actually did research around this earlier this year. They just publicized their results. They found that advertising with social proof showed up to 300% more click-throughs than if it did not have social proof. That's the power of what your social graph can do. And so that's really what marketing has to lean into more and more. And I will caveat that by saying, at the end of it, your product, of course, had better be good. Because marketing can only go so far, and none of the friends are going to like it if it's not good. So I will never take that away. And finally, on this community theme, right, like, if I think of what Genentech did with Hemlibra, I think of a lot of what disabled people do as well, the power of creating a community where people can go to and they're really, really obsessed with a certain aspect of life. It could be NFTs, it could be social media, it could be videos, it could be gaming, it could be, like I just said, for disabilities, it could be about my condition that I need medication for. Those are communities that are really powerful and really sticky because it's all about us and us as people, right? We are all looking for advice from someone who looks like me or someone who thinks like me, has the same condition like me. And that's the power that communities use. And so, here's a community that's, hugely popular by a startup. I think it's still a startup, I think. Canva, which I think some of you probably use. I use them all the time to create quick templates and flyers. And they have a really active group on Facebook, which is talking all the time about how do you create new designs? Here's a new template that I created. And they're just sharing with each other. And imagine like the usage of that product by this very free service, right? It's just a community that they don't really have to do much around, but it just helps the product grow in leaps and bounds. And that's the power of the community. And I'm going to leave you with this last community, really, and I call the community the one ring to rule them all because this is where you want all your action to happen. And again, the product has to be good, otherwise the action is bad, right? So authenticity and good products are always number one. But Instapot, how many of you are on this community? Okay, one person, two people, a few people. Okay, my husband and I got an Instapot a few years ago, and so we joined this community because a friend told us, hey, really great recipes. So we started, on this, tons of recipes going by. I learned how to make kheer on it. I learned how to make dahi in it. I started doing all my cooking on the Instapot. And so we bought a second Instapot. Then we bought an Instapot for my daughter. And now we give Instapots to all our friends who don't have an Instapot because that's our gift to them. But that's the power of this community, right? Like that's what really helped drive me to get to this product even more and engage with it more and then buy it. And so that's really, in the end, the ring that rules them all is the community that surrounds your product and really enhances it and gets people to think about it and use it and help others to use it too. So that's my spiel on social media. Hopefully after this, all of you will be going out using social media for your products and for your customer acquisition. And you can find me at Shalini Govil-Pai on LinkedIn or on Twitter.